everybody, compost talk. My glasses are shit. Bing, they're gone. Ha! Okay, editing. And we're back. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about composting and what it is and how to do it. So, disclaimer, my composting bucket thing isn't huge. And also it's not the main composting bucket, which I will film later on today. So it's also snowing out, but you can do it any time of year, and you can also do it in any weather. So my own composting bucket in my personal house or apartment is small, but that's okay. Where you actually store your composting materials can be usually in the kitchen is probably your best bet, since that's where most of your composting materials will come from, but it can be anywhere in your house, your mud room, your garage, even your bedroom, as long as it's kept in an aerated place and not like in the bottom of your closet. That's not a good idea. You will grow mold. That is not the point of compost. Yeah, you want the compost with the most, but not the most mold. That's a bad idea. Unless you want to grow mold, in which case I'm not your mom, I can't tell you what to do. So let's get into it. So I am the kind of person that has my tea bags in the sink, as you can see. And the reason that is because I want to drain the liquids off of the tea bags so that, so that they dry out. Now, when you put tea bags in your compost, you want to dry them out so that they can avoid molding and so that they can basically rot, but in a positive way, if that makes any sense. So that works for me. You may choose to take them apart and put them on a dehydrator. That some people do that. You may choose to put them on a windowsill and let them dry that way. I prefer not to do that because I want to keep my windowsills whole, clean, and non-stained. Stainless steel pretty much is stainless steel, so yeah, that's what I choose to do. Disclaimer, because this is the main thing, when I put cardboard in my, that's my lunch. Yay, fat kid. When I put my cardboard in my bucket, it is not the kind of cardboard that immediately breaks down, but it breaks down over a long period of time, and that is waxed cardboard. And that's not the best kind of cardboard, but it's the kind that I have. That's food boxes, and people are discouraged from putting food cardboard in with the recycling or in with the composting. And the reason that is because waxed cardboard is heavily processed with dyes and other things like that. It can compost, but it takes a very long time. But if you confetti it up and, rip it up into really small bits, it composts, but it takes longer. And that's not necessarily a bad thing if you have a really large composting bin with other things in it. Now, if you just bury it out in the woods, it's going to take a long time. But if you have a healthy soil and if you have a healthy compost that's going very strong with healthy bacteria and a healthy amount of other materials, it's not going to harm anything. It'll just take longer to break down than other materials, but it'll be fine. And that is to say, if you have only waxed cardboard, like cereal boxes or tea boxes or macaroni and cheese boxes in this case, then it's going to take forever. And it may not smell too good in the meantime, and it won't work very well. But like I'll videotape later, there's a huge bin in a community garden, and there are other materials that go into it from other parts of the community. There are people that have farms that will bring in some of their extra vegetable clippings, eggshells, whatever else. They're going to be bringing in clean bedding from their animals, that kind of thing. So they're going to have a variety of different materials, a variety of different bacteria, etc. So this will actually help slow down the process to make it a very thorough process rather than having too much heat all at once. Because when you have a compost going, it produces heat, and the bin is plastic, so you want to keep it at an ambient temperature so as not to have the plastic give off toxic fumes. That's something else to consider. That's why people don't understand about what's so toxic about composting and how it could go wrong, because you can, in fact, if you put the wrong things together, they can explode. But in general, household composting is not going to do anything. Newspapers, clippings, you know, eggshells, banana peels, that kind of thing is not going to explode. If you put chemical compost, if you put chemicals in your compost, it might react badly and it might explode. So avoid harsh synthetic chemicals. Don't put cleaners in your compost. Don't put bleach in. Avoid anything with that has bleach, like a bleached rag. Don't put like anything synthetic. Don't put motor oil. I mean, these are common sense things, but just in case, like if you soak up a cotton rag with, say you're doing an oil change in your car and you have a soaked cotton rag, don't put that in your compost. Dispose of it properly. That kind of thing. If you're dyeing your hair and you have, say you use henna and you have a henna filled rag, don't put that in your compost until you're absolutely sure that it will not react with anything else. Your best bet is to just straight up bury that separately in soil that you know for sure will not react with. But yeah, so this is that for this part. We will be back. Hey guys, so we are standing outside near the compost bin, which looks like this. Isn't it cute? So yeah, it has sunflowers and it has the word compost painted on it. Yeah, see that? Oh, so cute. Yeah, and it has like this little lid that you can like undo like this and pull up the lid, and that's so that critters don't get in it, and so that when you roll it, it doesn't like flop all the compost out because it's designed so that you can turn it on its side and roll it around. And that's to aerate it so that the compost doesn't just kind of slime itself up, which it could if it doesn't get air to all the components, because composting is with the idea that it dry rots rather than molds. So that's basically what I did. As you can see in the beginning of the video, was put my small compost into the bigger compost so that it could actually kind of digest itself. So yeah, there's that. Trying not to get too much of the actual building where the compost is held in with the actual compost bin because, you know, confidentiality. But this is where the compost bin is. And that's basically how you do a compost. And you can find compost bins in different areas of your community. Local community gardens maybe, or green initiatives. You can ask your local food co-ops if they have a composting program. You can start your own in your apartment complex maybe. Just ask around if you don't actually want to start your own. Yeah, just ask around, and that's how you compost. It is winter time, it is snowing. I don't like the snow for various reasons, but if I were dry and warm and if I had good clothing, I think I'd like it better, but I just don't like being cold or wet. I think that's why I don't like the snow. If I were dry and warm, I'd be fine. I'd love the snow if I were dry and warm. I just don't like being cold and wet. Even in the summer, I don't like being cold and wet. Other than that, I don't really have a problem with the snow. except when I actually have to be out in it. Ugh. Anyway, so that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of it, if you liked it, if you didn't. Let me know below if you do composting and how you do yours. And I've put in the description below more resources for composting, different types of composting and whatnot, where you can get resources if you want to start your own. And yeah, have fun with it, guys. Bye!